Hello, welcome to my channel, Save Infinity. In this video, I just kind of wanted to briefly kind of like discuss the idea of the similarities like between ourselves and AI, and kind of like using AI as like an analogy to kind of help conceptualize the idea of like oneness and we all being one, etc. You know, if you kind of think of the idea of like source energy or God consciousness or whatever you want to call it, how it essentially all is just like one energy, and then, you know, manifested into different forms and what have you, like how we're all, you know, different individuals in our human bodies. And so it's kind of like, you know, how you hear them say and stuff, how, you know, mostly like extraterrestrials or whatever you want to call them have, you know, like said to kind of try to help us understand how this works, that our human bodies are kind of more like vessels, you know, because it's kind of, you know, kind of like a car, like how you're a passenger in your car, kind of like your soul, or, you know, your spark of or fractal of source energy, God consciousness is like in your body, like as if it's like in a car. And, you know, and that body is kind of, you know, giving a unique individualized experience, rather than, you know, if we were all just the one source energy, then we'd all be that, right? And this is a way we kind of get differences and variations and what have you, to be able to experience different aspects of ourselves together. And, you know, I feel like it's such a similar concept and idea of way of thinking about, you know, how we have like AI, for example. It's kind of like how we all are just God manifested and fractal down into human bodies. Kind of like how you think of like there's like AI, but then every person has their own, you know, for example, if we use Chat GPT as an example, like everyone can have like their own little Chat GPT app and stuff, and their own little unique kind of, you know, relationship and individualized experience in a way, you know, with the Chat GPT. But then that still is just technically the one AI, the one Chat GPT communicating with everybody, but it's able to do so in individualized experiences. If you get what I mean. So it's kind of like one massive AI energy and then funneled down into, say, everyone's phone. And I feel like that's such a similar way of thinking about us, how we're all like God consciousness, source energy, funneled down into these individual human bodies. And so if you kind of think of it in a way of like, imagine if you had like AI, or, you know, to the point of which we do at the moment, and who knows how advanced they've gotten with it in their underground operations. But, you know, if we created, for example, like robots or something that you were able to implant the AI Chat GPT into or something, and then you could make each robot, you know, programmed to have a specific personality or look a certain way, so that you have all these unique different robots that are technically all just the one AI like Chat GPT type program, but then they're appearing individualized through all these individual robot bodies we've created. It's like a similar sort of aspect, but if you think of it in like an organic way that humans are doing with source energy and God consciousness. You know, so it's kind of like you could kind of think of, you know, how AI works in that way, how it can be everywhere at once and, you know, talk to everyone at once, but in individualized ways. You could kind of think of that is how like we are all one energy, you know, one source energy, God consciousness, manifested in these different ways, almost like we are all just, you know, not that we are AI, like artificial intelligence, but that we all are just like this one consciousness or one intelligence, you know, manifested into these various forms, kind of like we are AI wearing a costume. Like we're all just the one energy, the one consciousness, wearing different costumes, you know, like we've all just got a different costume on, but underneath it, we're all just the one energy. You know, and kind of with the idea of how they say we all are infinite internal beings. And so this experience is essentially just a reflection of yourself and just a part of it. Because, you know, how can you experience infinity all in one time? Like that's just too many things, right? So you're like experiencing a slither of yourself through a manifested form. So, you know, so it's like in you is a whole infinite, eternal world that's contained within all this God consciousness source energy. And then a part of it is manifesting out as your reality to explore. So like everything you see outside of you is also within you. Like, if you get what I mean. And so it's really just like showing and proving to us the outstanding, like, magnificence of who and what we truly are, and who and what we truly hold within each and every single one of ourselves. Like literally the whole entire universe is within you and is just manifesting out, and you're just viewing it from this one vantage point. But like everything you see is being manifested from within you. So that universe, those planets, those star systems, they all exist within you. And you're just manifesting out a certain perspective and viewpoint of that everything in order to, you know, explore your way through it. But yeah, so very, very profound and amazing and magical, you know, thing to really grasp and to think about, of just how, you know, complex and infinite we really, really, truly, truly are, and just how amazing and wonderful and magical we all truly, truly, truly are. But yeah, might leave that one there for now. Sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always.